Well, I think the fact is, for the vast majority of people, it will make no difference in their lives whatsoever. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of people taking up the smoking of marijuana simply because it's legal. But I think that for those who do, I just hope common sense will prevail. Common sense. For all the talk of regulations and enforcement and all this kind of thing, if people apply common sense to how they go about their lives, those who use marijuana, I think we'll be fine. You don't drive a car if you're impaired by anything, alcohol or marijuana. You don't go to work having smoked a lot of marijuana any more than you show up for work having been drinking. You don't go around and be inconsiderate in terms of sort of blowing smoke in the faces of other people, or children in particular. You don't smoke marijuana around where children are present. These are common sense things that if people just conducted themselves that way, we would be a lot better off in terms of not having to have extensive regulations or expenditures. I was watching on television last night just before I went to sleep, seeing everybody all excited about 1201, and in fact seeing 1201 pass in Newfoundland and the first person to buy some, and that's fine. If there are some people who are very excited about it, I understand that, but at the same time I hope that everybody that's involved in this, first of all, works as a community to make sure we can deal with this change in a way that is just commonsensical and considerate of others. That's the main thing. If people living in the city on every respect, whether it's to do with marijuana or a host of other things, we're just considerate of other people. You know, I've said before that when it comes to road safety, if pedestrians, cyclists and drivers were all considerate of each other, well, I mean, I look at this and I say there has to be some scientific sort of discussion of this to me as to why the age should be different from alcohol. And there may be reasons, I don't know, but right now it would appear to me from everything I've heard that alcohol and cannabis are not that far distant from one another in terms of something that should be used with great care, not used at all ideally. I mean, I think really that's where we would want to be in terms of everybody's ultimate health and the health of and safety of people on the roads and so on. But having said that, I haven't heard anything that compels me to believe that the age should be any different, but I guess we'll have to listen and learn, and it's a provincial decision. And may I join the police chief in pleading with people, please do not call 911 about people smoking marijuana. It is now a legal activity, and it is not something that certainly qualifies as an emergency. If you think there is some bylaw being broken or some other thing happening, then you could call 311. But by and large, maybe it's an instance in which you go and have a conversation with your neighbor and say, please, if you want to smoke marijuana, which I understand is legal, do it in a way that perhaps doesn't irritate me and my enjoyment of my property. But people just have to understand that calling 911 or calling the police when they're very busy dealing with other matters is not going to be helpful, and in fact there's nothing much they're going to be able to do about it. So I hope people don't do that.